Well, hello, my name is Bre Kennedy, and I'm coming to you from Nashville, Tennessee. Actually from Odessa, Texas. I was just telling everybody that I came from singing with Need to Breathe, and I've been on tour with them for the last 3 weeks, and now I'm getting into a season of putting out this record, and I just made an album called The Alchemist. I put it out January 30th, and this whole record has actually been really life-changing for me. The same week that I put my record out, my grandmother passed away, and she is my favorite person in the whole world. And so I've kind of in real time been navigating what these songs mean to me now. And so I'm gonna play some songs from the record that are changing me in real time. This song is called Good Grief, and I wrote it about the seemingly mundane moments in our everyday life that we look over, especially when we're on a journey to like the next accolade. And so for me, it's like when I'm going through waves of grief, watching my dog sunbathe outside, and if I have like a really horrible work Zoom meeting, and then I get to like dance in the kitchen with my friend and make dinner. Just the little things in life that really matter when we're going through our waves of grief. This is called Good Grief. I'm dreaming again. My point of view is better than it's been. I sold my guitar for rent. I'm dancing in the kitchen with my best friend. And we're flying. You were trying to not take it all so seriously. It's good grief. For just a second, everything feels like it's gonna be a little less bitter, a little more sweet, like it ought to be. On the other side of a bad night where I couldn't sleep, promise me this could be good grief. It's a blessing and a burden, the way it washes over me, and the proof is in the hurting that's running down my cheeks when I'm crying. And I'm trying to find the rest in the mess a little bit. For just a second, everything feels like it's gonna be a little less bitter, a little more sweet, like it ought to be. On the other side of the dark sky hanging over me, promise me this could be good when it's good. Yeah, it's good when it's good. For just a second, everything feels like it's gonna be a little less bitter, a little more sweet, like it ought to be. Heaven is a far that's standing right in front of me. And finally, I can let it be. Good grief. Good grief. Thank you. We have that good morning airport voice. This next song is a song that I wrote with my songwriting hero, Lori McKenna. I believe she might be in Mass right up the road, but I wrote this with her probably 6 years ago, maybe 7 years ago now, right right before 2020, when everybody was kind of feeling like they needed to reframe their life. And I remember we were on a Zoom session and having small talk and like meeting my hero for the first time. And she said, like, you know, are you married? Do you have kids? And I answered, before I have a daughter, I want to learn how to do my taxes. I think that's what I said. And she like read right through the BS. And she was like, why'd you say before I have a daughter? Most people say before I have kids. And I was like, oh no. So I joked that I hope this song pays for the therapy session that Lori gave me. Because it's always really hard to condense this down in one story. But basically, I reached out to my mother for the first time after writing this song. And my mother struggled with addiction my whole life and her whole life. And it was just right on time. Like, we wrote this song, and I reached out to my mom, and I just wanted to have like a Coca-Cola with her. And I got to do that at my grandma's house, and I got to ask her what it was like to be a mom for the first time when she had me. And I remember, you know, thinking she would give me all of her life story, but all she said was like, I was just doing my best. And it hit me, and I was like, yeah, me too, and we're not that different. And my mother and I have a beautiful and complex relationship now, and my mom helps me tend to my grandmother's garden at her house. And this song is just for really anybody who has the audacity to wake up and try to be better than they were the day before. It's called Before I Have a Daughter.
Wanna build myself a garden, kind I have to water on the good days and the bad ones too. Then I'll try college and realize it's not for me. And the takeaway is a heart will break the time it takes to make lemonade of my family tree. And then I'll go make mistakes and find a way to find some dumb luck. Then I'll stop believing that life is a merry-go-round, holding me down until I start to see that spiders on breaking the chains before I break any more hearts. Fathers, be good to your daughters. Daughters will love like you do. And girls become lovers, they turn into mothers. So mothers, be good to your daughters too. Before I have a daughter, I wanna build myself a garden, the kind I have to water on the good days and the bad ones too. Thank you very much. Well, I tell you what, that got me a little emotional this morning. All before my first coffee. Let's see. Let's tune this guy up a little bit. We're gonna be brave, and we're gonna try the highest song on the record. Well, here, what time is it right now? It's like 3:27. Yeah, I'm talking like it's the morning. I got like 3 hours of sleep last night. We stayed at I think it's called like a town suite by Marriott in Odessa, Texas last night on tour. You know those air vents that are just like, and you wake up feeling like SpongeBob without water? Okay. This is the title track to my album, The Alchemist. Have any of you read The Alchemist, the book? Yeah, me too. It was one of those books that just sat on my shelf, and my friends were like, you have to read this. And you're like, yeah, okay. And I read it, and I remember I was in the valley low of my life, which is going to happen again and again and again. We all go through them. And I wish somebody would have told me that life is just peaks and valleys, and that's the whole ride. And I remember I read the book, and I was like, man, I have spent my whole life trying to hit accolades. That's all I've been doing my whole life. And then when I hit the accolade, I'm like at another little valley low of like, okay, what's next? And going back to good grief, like just realizing that it sounds so cheesy, but it genuinely is how we show up in the valley lows of our life that really matter. And so I wrote this song with Melissa Fuller and John Stark. And I remember we were writing with the perspective of like, here's to the alchemist, here's to the person who takes what they have and makes something beautiful. And I remember Melissa Fuller looking at me and being like, cool, you can tell other people as much as you want, you know, here's to you. But like, why are you the alchemist of your own life? And what made you look for the light in really dark spaces? And I grew up in a home where you had to look for the light. And so I wrote a story about it. And I think if I were to tell people the story of why I am the alchemist in my own life, it would be this. My mother cried when she opened her eyes. She was born in a fire, so she lived in the rain. And I got a sky that was ripped open wide, and it moved like a river that washed me away. So I light a candle, carry a flame. I find a little faith when all that's left to make is friends with a girl who's just doing her best. Here's to the alchemist. My broken pieces of my tapestry, every stitch holds together the story of me. I fell asleep at the wheel of my life, and I flipped upside down and I lost everything. So beauty from the mess, no matter what the outcome is. So here's to the Alchemist. Ooh. Thank you. That's really sweet because at the very end of the album is this voice note from my grandma, and she was so funny. Like, if you could imagine her, she had like a red robe that she was holding on to at all time, Pall Malls, and Coca-Cola. And she was just telling me at the very end of the record, like, a storm's gonna come. And she was talking about the 2020 tornado at the time. And I remember her just saying at the end of the record, you know, you're gonna be okay, just follow the light, come home to me and Mom, and the door is always open for you. And it led to a whole chapter that is on the record, if you want to listen. Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can we get some coffee now?
Yes, coffee!